Today I'm gonna be doing this makeup look. It was very inspired by Zendaya's new Odyssey red carpet look. If you saw that, insane. Like, she looked like an actual angel. Dare I say, her best look yet. So definitely the white inner corner is like inspired by that look, as well as the spiky lash. And then there's also another makeup artist I found on Instagram today. I'll put her name here because I can't remember it. She also does this sort of look. And so I was obsessed and I wanted to try it out. And I'm going out for the first time in forever right now. And this is like the first time I've done my makeup, I swear, since my birthday, which was like over a month ago. Or at least like the first time I've done like a full beat. And I haven't had my hair this color with a full beat yet. So this was like very much needed. But if you want to see how I did this look, then keep on watching. Always starting with my e.l.f. Thirst Burst drops, always making me look really nice and hydrated. You guys remember that Addison Rae sound where she was on the bus and some guy was filming her and was like, "Say hydrated," and she thought that he meant say hydrated, and so she said hydrated. I always think that video is pretty funny. I already added some like tanning drops to my lotion, so I'm not going to do my L'Oreal Lumi lotion, which I usually do. So I'm now going to do brows. I always use my Got2b glued brow gel. I do want to try out, I think, the Refi brow gel though. I always hear such good stuff about that and how it works on like stubborn hair that doesn't want to stay up, which is my hair. So maybe I will try that out. So I did go to the pool today, so I do have a bit of a tan, kind of like a sunburn actually. First, I'm taking my e.l.f. Halo Glow, which I use like almost all the time. I'm just doing a thin layer of this to kind of like even out the skin tone. And once again, I did forget primer, which for some reason I've been forgetting lately. But that's okay. We will add it after this. So obviously, I would not usually be adding primer after I put on some face makeup. But that's how it is today. So I'm using my Huda Beauty Easy Blur primer and just putting a tiny bit in my like T-zone area, because I like to use this one just to kind of fill in the pores, and I kind of just press this one in more. And then my NYX face glue. I also had some nails on earlier that I literally just did the other day, but I took them off because I think I have that gel allergy, because I'm convinced that that's why I've been getting my eczema on my eyelids again. It was really bad this past week. Then, as always, my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. Now I'm taking my Huda Beauty Easy Blur, and this is in Tres Leches. And we're gonna hope that this like stays on and doesn't get like patchy, because I feel like I've noticed lately with my Huda Beauty makeup that I used to like religiously use and love has been getting like really patchy on my skin. Like after I do my powder and everything, and then if I like touch my skin, it will literally just lift off of my face and then I have like a spot there, which never happened before. So I don't know what's going on. This looks so stark against my nose because it's kind of like sunburnt. Hello guys, this is editing Marley tuning in. So I did in fact not record the rest of my base because I did not realize that the camera had shut off. So I just want to give you guys kind of like a rundown of what I did. And it's really not much different from any of my other videos. So if you want to go check those out to see the rest of the base makeup, you can. But I just went in with a lighter concealer. I used the Kosas concealer underneath my eyes, a little bit on my forehead, and a little bit on my chin. And then for any other spots that I wanted to cover up, I used my Maybelline Fit Me concealer that's a little darker to match my skin tone. Once that was all blended in, I went ahead and used my LYS contour stick to bronze up my face and contour. I was kind of heavy-handed with that as well because I really wanted that contour bronzy look. I really wanted to emphasize that. And that was just under my cheekbones, forehead, under my jawline, and my nose contour. And then to set everything, I used my Huda Beauty Easy Bake powder like always, I like to use that just in the T-zone area under my eyes. And then for the rest of my face, I use my e.l.f. HD powder, and I use the one in Soft Luminance. And that one, I just take a big fluffy brush and kind of just like tap it over the rest of my face. But I think that is everything that got cut out. So now back to the regular video. I have absolutely no clue when this stopped filming. So hopefully not for long. But I'm now putting on my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, nose contour. I've also been obsessed with Trinity from Love Island's makeup. I'm not watching this season, but I keep seeing everybody recreating it. And whenever I see pictures of her, I'm like, oh my gosh, she looks like a freaking doll. So maybe I'll do a look like that at some point. Really trying to snatch that nose. And then also I'm bringing it up here. And then I'm going to take a bronzer in the outer corner and a bit in the crease. So I'm going to take a darker tan and put it kind of the same place that I put the bronzer. And I don't think I want it to be like really that intense. Maybe just a little darker, just right in the corner. My camera keeps shutting off because I don't have storage, so I had to delete some things and hopefully it works now. So now I'm finally gonna go in with that lighter inner half. And first I'm kind of just doing just like a baseline of where I want that lightness to go with like a very light creamy color. And obviously bringing it into the inner corner. And then now I'm going to take a much whiter color and I concentrate that. This white is so pigmented, I have to be careful. I'm also going to take some right here. Gonna blend the harsh edges right here. I feel like I look like an ice princess or something. I just cut some of the hairs off of this angled brush because I saw a hack and it makes it like skintier. We're gonna see it. Hopefully I didn't mess up my brush. Now I'm taking a brown shadow and I'm gonna do a wing with the shadow. And then I'm gonna put it like right on my lash line kinda. I don't want it in my tight line, but just like right at the edge. Can you see like the difference is just slightly darker? Just adds a little bit more emphasis. Okay, this side looks a lot better. Now I'm gonna take the same darker color I used in my outer corner and just bring it under here. I'm gonna take whatever left on this brush that I used to apply like the white. Put that excess like right under my brows. I'm gonna add a highlighter too, but this is just the initial. Also taking a little bit of a cream color down the bridge of my nose and on the tip. Just really subtle to help emphasize that nose contour. Now I'm gonna take my Huda Beauty blush palette in Toasty Peach. And I'm first gonna take, I guess like a mixture kind of all three. Not too much. I just want kind of like a peachy base. And I'm just kind of like putting this all over first. I'm taking that on my nose here too. And then I'm gonna take my Kylie Winter Kiss 2.0 and I'm gonna focus this more up here, I think. Should I bring a little bit down here? I'll bring just a little. Then I'm taking this e.l.f. highlighter, which is really old, the rose gold highlighter, and I'm gonna use this first just as like a base highlight, I guess. I'm just kind of like putting it all over. It's kind of more like a blush topper, I guess, because it's really subtle and it's like champagne-y. And then taking my Rare Beauty Highlight and Enlighten, my favorite highlighter. This is where I'm gonna focus it more, like up here. Can you see that? Then I'm gonna take it on my smaller brush. Also gonna put this in the inner corner because that like really brightens that up. And then, like I said, under my brow, and then the nose. Also adding some to my Cupid's bow. Might have to touch that up later. And then I'm just gonna take my big fluffy powder brush again. And I like to do this where the blush and bronzer meet, just to really like make sure everything is seamlessly blended. So now my Huda Beauty setting spray, which is in my Charlotte Tilbury bottle. And then my Urban Decay All-Nighter as well. Okay, I wiped off my lips. Now I'm taking my Sachu lip liner stain in Mauve to like line my lips. I'm gonna take a little bit of a brown liner to emphasize that wing, but first I'm gonna take my Urban Decay Space Cowboy shadow. I think I want this to be like glittery. So I put that like over the area where the white is pretty much. And I'm gonna add some to my cheeks as well. So like I said, I'm adding a very little liner. So I just added the liner and I'm just kind of gonna go on top with that brush that I used for the shadow liner, just to diffuse it a little bit with whatever's left on this brush. So I'm gonna curl my lashes and put on some mascara, but then I'm gonna put some lashes on just the outer corners, and then I might do some individual ones to make it more of like a spiky lash look. We'll see. I'm gonna be really careful when I do this because I always get mascara on my lids. These are lashes I'm using. They're from Amazon, I think. I just wanted something that kind of had that like spiky look to it. So like I said, I'm only gonna put it on like the outer corner. And I'm just using regular lash glue. I'm letting those lashes dry. So I'm gonna take the liner off. Just like a nice subtle line. I'm gonna also put on normal liner, but this is like the base, you know, if my lip products come off, then at least I still have liner on. Okay, that's what it looks like with just the outer, which looks really freaking cute. So I'm kind of loving it. So I'm just gonna add on extra spikes now. Now taking my Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder, like always. Finishing touches. I always use this to really sculpt out the rest of my nose contour, as you can see, and just the T-zone area. And then I'm gonna finish my eyes with some low mascara, and I might add a little bit of mascara onto the top. Maybe a little recurl as well. Taking my Maybelline lip liner now in Player. And then I'm gonna take the tiniest bit of the Huda blush filter in Bubblegum. And I'm gonna use that as the base pink. And then I'm taking my NYX Butter Gloss in Creme Brulee. Might take a little bit of the one in Fortune Cookie, just right in the center. And then finishing everything off with my L'Oreal setting spray. I honestly might add a little bit of my favorite Urban Decay silver liner. This is in the color Cuff. And I always just add a little bit, just a little to the inner corner. Ooh, yes. And then just do a little retouch of the highlighter on the nose. And the Cupid's bow, I think. Just a little. Now I'm gonna go do my hair. Okay. This is the final look. I'm kind of obsessed with how my hair turned out, even though it's like dirty, but somehow I managed to figure it out. I'm wearing this Princess Polly top, I think. And I'm gonna wear black capris and little mini black heels. And I feel like a baddie. I feel refreshed. I haven't done a makeup look or just done my makeup in like a month, I feel like. And especially with my new hair. So yeah, that's it for today's video. And I will see you guys next time.